Hello everyone, just want to say before my review of our win over Nottingham Forest yesterday, thank you very much for watching. Please continue to like, comment, share and subscribe, and please do the same for my friends over at Magpie 24/7 and Magpie Ultras. Thanks now and enjoy the video. I hope everyone's anxieties went down after we nearly threw away that 3-goal lead yesterday, but yeah, in true Newcastle fashion, Jekyll and Hyde, brilliant one half, bloody awful the next. But we got the 4-3 win in the end, so that's the main thing. We've got to remember that. And we're back in the Champions League places. But we didn't make hard work of it, didn't we? And I don't know why we do that at times. But we'll cover it all. Before the game started, we heard murmurings on Friday night that Sandro Tonali was out completely. But then the club posted them in the club graphic yesterday morning, so we knew he wasn't out. He was just probably starting from the bench, because it has since been revealed that he had a slight hamstring complaint. So the best thing was, with a player of that quality that we're going to need for the rest of the season to make sure we get Champions League football, I wouldn't forget it, was to start him on the bench and be cautious. And he did get on eventually, and he helped wrestle the game somewhat back in our favour for a little bit, but it was nervy, and we don't do things the easy way. But it's good to see that Tonali was still there. The other surprises in midfield were obviously Joe Willock. He came back in. He'd been poor at Manchester City, was hooked for another player he started alongside Lewis Miley at half-time at the Etihad. But again, Joe Willock, I've just got to say this, he was one of my 3 best players in that game. The other 2 I'll reveal soon, but yeah, Joe Willock, he had a very good first half. And Joe Willock is a player who needs the minutes. He gives you something different. He gives you that raw running power, which he carries you up the pitch. He's just got such long legs, such stamina. And some of these runs, I've got to say, that one in the first half where he just powered past that player, kept trying to shove him off the ball. I think it was Iron out right back. But he just held onto the ball, shrugged him off and just powered down that left-hand touchline. He was fantastic. But the unfortunate thing is, though, we know if Joe Linton is back for Brighton, Joe Linton will probably come back in, so it's about how you're going to manage Joe Willock to give him the minutes he needs to perform like that against having your best midfield, especially with the final coming up. Another thing, Martin Dubravka was dropped. We didn't see that one coming. We heard Saturday night Pope might have been back in. Now, don't know if Dubravka was ill in the week, but with his wife's comment saying life isn't fair, which for her is a fair comment, the fact that we've fought so much to keep him, could have went and got a big final payday in Saudi. He's played so well. Don't think he could have done much with the goals at City, because none of the team helped him. And then, he gets his contract. Now he has to stay here. I don't know if it's until this summer, it's undisclosed, or if it's till next summer, so we can get a bit value for him. But it shows that there's not much loyalty there, and it is a bit of a kick in the teeth or a stab in the back that he has been dropped. If he had a slight injury concern, or if he was basically unwell, I can understand the thinking, but really harsh. And Nick Pope, obviously, did look rusty. We've said we wanted a response from Manchester City. Eddie Howe wanted that, and we certainly got that, because their goal was against the run of play. We had a couple of chances now. Got to say, Jacob Murphy didn't have his best game. He lost possession 8 times in the opening 20 minutes, which was not good. Didn't have too good of a game, but he did make up for it, didn't he, with putting our head for 2-1. He got the goal, and it was in awful circumstances. Tino had the ball on the Milburn, down in our defensive end, threw it to Murphy, and I think they were both at fault here. Murphy wasn't aware that Hudson-Odoi was around him. Tino should have seen that Hudson-Odoi was near him too, so they're both at fault. And then what Nick Pope was doing, Nick Pope was closer to the east stand than he was to his right-hand post. Looking back, he could have thought Byrne was covering it, but I know he was rusty, just come back in, but he didn't cover himself in glory. And Eddie Howe also said his distribution was good. I don't agree with that fully. His distribution, his kicking certainly was crap. Normally is, let's be honest. But his distribution with his hands was good, because it helped set up a couple of the goals. So I've got to give him full credit there. He'd done a tip over as well, over the bar, second half, to keep way ahead. So got to give him credit in them respects, but yeah, his distribution with his feet, sometimes he was looking for the striker or one of the attacking midfielders, and just he was kicking it the opposite direction of where they were. So but then yeah, going on to the rest of the team, Dan Burn had a solid first half. He done what he needed to do, the big man, the bulky man on the big bulky forward, and he kept Chris Wood quiet, because for all Chris Wood's been fantastic for Forest, and he's got 18 league goals this season, none of them have been against us. Now, he did get an assist for their second from the set piece, but fair play. Cher didn't really have much to do first half, you could say, because Forest created a lot of chances from set pieces, but not really from open play. Going through the rest of the team, Lewis Hall, I'll come on to that now. He was my man of the match, one of the 3 best players. The other one, obviously being Lewis Miley. But Lewis Hall, despite conceding 4, he was outstanding. He didn't give a thing away, and he was just brilliant at the back there. So fantastic from him. And he was involved in 3 of the goals. And he got out of jail in a lot of situations when it looked like Forest could hurt. Like there was one time he got done, only the one time in the game, and yet he recovered fantastically. Then you go on to Lewis Miley. Now he was someone who came on for Willock, as I said, at Manchester City, but Miley showed he will be at this level, because despite Forest's opener, when we got the equaliser again, the free kick was given away, and then it came back out to Willock, played it to Hall. Now Hall played it in. I think he was meant to put height on it, and that's probably why Forest's defensive line, like their players were sitting around the 6-yard box rather than pushed a bit further out, and that's why Matty was in so much space. But surely deserves to be at Premier League level for the touch he done with his right foot like that in the box, and then albeit yes, it went through Wood's legs, Milenkovic's legs, and just past the heel of Murillo. So Sells was slightly unsighted, but still a fantastic finish. He made with tick and just made things happen, kept play going, just his intelligence, he's passing, always looking forward, he's purposeful. Yeah, he's got a big future ahead of him. You go on to the rest of the team. Bruno didn't have the best of games, but again, yeah, sometimes he goes down when he doesn't need to, but again, I love Bruno more than anyone, and he done what he needed to. Again, he was in his unnatural position, you've got to say, the number 6 with Tonali not starting. Willock, I've praised him, just his running power. That's a Joe Willock we know and love at that first half. Just driving with forward, he carries you up the pitch, and he made things happen. And Isaac got his 2 goals. Like I said, Murphy, I'll come on to Isaac actually in a sec, but Murphy, yes, Murphy didn't have his best game, but look at it this way, we wouldn't have won that game without him. So yeah, give possession away, as I said, 8 times in 20 minutes was awful starting. But he did link up a couple of times on the right, crosses put in, no one on the end of them between him and Tino, especially like Gordon's chance and that. But look at it this way, he did get the goal, so without that goal we wouldn't have won that game. And then you go on to Gordon. Gordon was quiet, we did terrorise Einar first half, but Gordon didn't do too much more, but he was still involved. And he did trouble them, because when you've got Gordon, Willock and Hall running at you, anyone would crap themselves. Yes, Alexander Isak's now the outright Swedish scorer in Premier League history. He's moved on to 50 Premier League goals in 76 games. That's an unbelievable record. And yes, he overtakes one, Freddie Ljungberg. But don't want too much more of his pens. Again, Lewis Hall involved, winning the penalty, where he said straight away it's a pen. Annoying how the VAR decision took so long to come to it, but yeah, it was, because he was unnaturally turned round, arm in the air, so Einar definitely was a pen against him. Bit too nonchalant and comfortable for our liking, because if Sells had stood still for the pen, he would have caught it, but that's a confidence and the quality Isaac has, that he kind of Panenkas it, and the keeper still doesn't get to it. Obviously he's 4th, again, why I pointed out Joe Willock was my 2nd best player of the match, just for his power, his running, and then he played it obviously through to Isaac. Little pass inside behind the defender, then Isaac, took a deflection off Murillo, but you get them chances when you get in the positions, and he put it in. So that basically felt like game, set and match. We went down at half time, we were comfortable, we thought, this is brilliant, that's the response we wanted after Manchester City. Can we make it 5 or 6-1? But yes, the second half was anything but comfortable. We went down in buoyant mood, but Nuno gave them a rollicking, and a tactical change of Alanga and Hudson-Odoi give him more cover. Aina on the right side, right back, because he was getting torn apart by Willock, Gordon and Hall that first half. And yeah, give him more license to run forward and to create some chances. And yeah, it kind of neutralised Willock. He didn't have that space to run into anymore because I now had someone covering him. And Nuno made him work a treat. Now, worrying thing, I don't believe all this cup final nonsense, because the fact that we haven't got depth at the moment, a lot of players will know that they're guaranteed to start. Now, could it be that they're thinking more on the injury side? They don't want to be injured for Wembley. Could be, but I don't believe this whole cup final thing's a distraction, because it's still a bit away. And they did say in the programme before the game that it wasn't a distraction. That was said by Callum Wilson, I believe. So yeah, I'm not having that. But it is a concern. Were they complacent? Possibly. They thought, well, we're 4-1 up. We don't really need to go for another one. Could Eddie Howe have said, look, you don't need to press them. Then when we're not pressing them and getting in the faces, the crowd's flat, and then might rub off on the players. And then that basically means that Forest are getting more of the ball. There was just so many unforced errors, unnecessary turnovers of possession. And every time Forest have the ball, it's given back to them, and they attack. They get more and more confidence. And then that gets the crowd edgy. Subsequently, like I just said, that again rubs off on the players, and then the whole place gets nervy. And my main shock is Forest didn't get more than one goal between, I think it was the 62nd minute, and then when they scored bang on stoppage time. All I can say is my main relief is when that board went up, it was only 3 minutes. Normally they expect maybe 5, 6 or 7, and I think if they'd had that time, that they would have got an equaliser. But yeah, fortunately they didn't. That's the best feeling I had that whole second half, when it was only 3 minutes, and we were all saying that around us. But we've got to remember, bigger picture, Newcastle still won. So we got the 3 points. That was the main thing. We had to take advantage of all the teams around were losing. Obviously, Arsenal lost to West Ham, City lost to Liverpool in the later game, Bournemouth lost to Wolves, Chelsea lost to Villa. I know Villa have closed the gap, but again, it's really tight in there. It's the most tight and open race, you could say. I know that kind of contradicts it, each word, tight and open, but it is. It's tight in the table, but so open for the Champions League fight, and it's just making it exciting, because the top of the table now looks like the title's all but done. Obviously, I'd like us to put a spanner in the works on Wednesday, but we've been saying that going to Anfield for 31 years. But yeah, it's just cross back over. No, it's just brilliant. We got the win. We've just got to hope when we go to Anfield on Wednesday that if we do show anything, which you hope so, I think we've just got to fight firepower with firepower. But if the second half Newcastle turns up at Anfield, we'll get buried, and we'll get buried handsomely. And then that won't be good for the confidence facing them going to Wembley. Got to think of it from a psychological point of view. Do you go with the strongest team? Some are saying it's a free hit, but I don't think it's a game we should be really writing off. Look, Liverpool can be got at, and if you lose to them and you've went for it, you leave everything on the pitch. If you leave everything on the pitch and you still lose, that's just how it is. Liverpool the best team in the league in Europe right now, but if we do the first half like yesterday, where everything was pretty much perfect bar their chance, then, my opinion, we could get a draw, but that's me being ambitious. Heart says a draw, head says we're going to get beat. But we'll wait and see. But we need Lewis Hall to play like he did yesterday, because like I said, I know we conceded 4 goals, but at the end of the day, he was still our best player, and we need that Lewis Hall against Mo Salah. Mo Salah's the best forward in the league right now. But yeah, we got through it. We've got to remember that at the end. But yeah, it was a complacency. We give them the ball a lot. That helped them grow in confidence. That give them the chances. If I was a Forest fan leaving St James's yesterday, I feel aggrieved that maybe didn't get a draw in the end. The only thing that beat them really and helped us was the clock, because we were fortunate to win that game. So like 1998-99 season, like 22-23, we've done the league double over Forest. We just seem to have the Indian sign over them at the moment because they've swept so many teams aside. But got to say this, Forest are strong from set pieces. Obviously they scored the second from that when it came in. Wood headed it back, and then Milenkovic scored that. Everyone was ball watching, that was poor. And then the third, obviously, shot, I believe it was for Hudson-Odoi. I'll put that up there if it's wrong. And then obviously Shaw stopped it, but then the second ball fell and it came to Ryan Yates. So he made it 4-3, and it was really, really nervy at that point. But we're held on in the end. We've got to remember that, and we'll just take the confidence from that win back in the top 5, and now we'll go to Anfield. The confidence of the win. Second half was absolutely atrocious. First half was some of the best football we've played. Just we blitzed them in that 11-minute spell. Obviously Tonali will be a worry with his hamstring strain. We'll see how he goes going into Wednesday. Just how risk him, or does he keep him? But I just don't think it's a game we should write off. I've just got to say this, brilliant that we beat that Forest team. They've swept many aside this season, but I think what Eddie Howe got right was Forest normally sit in a low block and then the counter teams, but we set up in that way ourselves. So we start in a low block and countered them, which caught them by surprise. And strangely, they normally sit back once they've got the opening goal and try to defend it, but they went for a second, which might have been their undoing. Some are saying there wasn't many games in 2022-23 where we were hanging on like that, but there was. That season when we finished 4, there's a lot of 1-goal deficits in it, and we managed to hang on against some teams. But if you think back then, the defence was stronger and a bit younger, and got to remember with this team, despite that awful second half yesterday, we still won, and this team haven't been strengthened in 3 windows. So they're still trying to do a job, and obviously they've aged. We all know the glaring issues are we need to replace players at right centre back, because Shaw unfortunately looks like he is fading. Some of his passing was far too lazy yesterday and he has lost a yard, I believe. But yeah, we need to replace right centre back, a pacey centre back. Obviously Botman would come in for Burn if he was fit, because I don't believe yesterday would have happened if Tonali started and Botman was there. Then we'll need to get a right winger in, and Murphy will be a squad player, and then we'll need another striker who would be a good backup, mainly for Alexander Isak, unless however change formation, which I doubt he would. But yeah, it's just got to say, the players are still trying to go as much as they can, but we haven't been strengthened in 3 windows. You've got to hope with Yasser Ramayan being there yesterday, as well as off-field issues like the training ground in the stadium, you've got to hope he's seen the massive gaping holes on the pitch that need addressing. For now, I'm going to wrap that up. I'll be back in a couple of days' time with my preview for we're going to Liverpool in a very tough game, looking at a 31-year wait for a win at Anfield in the league. So thank you very much for watching. Please continue to like, comment, share, subscribe. My channels, my friends at Magpie 24/7 and Magpie Ultras. But take care, and I hope everyone has a good week. Bye bye for now.